What's up? Welcome in. It is Bears Packers Week 2, and welcome into the CHGO Bears Pregame Show, presented by PointsBet. Use that code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. What's going on, Bears fans? We are ready to go. A full house tonight in the CHGO studios.
I am so proud of this damn team right now. I can't even say. Braggs has been here less time than I've been here. But he came.
Semantics.
The MVP of the show so far. We got the grill going on. Check out Twitter. I mean, we all ate like pigs right before the scene here, which I hope won't dent anybody. But Woot's looking strong. We're talking about Rodman jerseys out of nowhere.
Exactly.
I bought this 52 for tonight.
He's ready to go.
It was a little bit embarrassing, but I've never been a big jersey guy. I'm like, I got to have a jersey, and then I saw this.
Wait, you just bought that for tonight?
Yeah, well, I wanted to. I was at TJ Maxx, and I'm in the men's section.
It did look like a Kmart special.
Yeah, well, and I see this, but it's a sweet jersey, and I'm like,
is it?
I think it kind of is. No?
I thought you were going to cut off the sleeves, show the guns.
Well, that's for
Did somebody replace 52? Who's 52 now? Did anybody take 52?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I just double checked.
It's the Carm.
Nobody has it. No one has it.
You are 52.
I'm 50. I'm 52.
He got Mac took off there. He put Carman.
And I'm, I got to have the colors in all different flavors here, and I didn't have a jersey. So never, and then I was like, is this a bad buy? But at $15, I figured like. I thought the chat would appreciate Carm going big, and I don't know, I'm talking too much, but I'm very excited.
I like it. You did it, though. It's Packers week, right? Oh. Packers game is here, man. You talk about all the disrespect Aaron Rodgers has had in the recent years against the Bears. I own you, discount, double check. So we're going to see tonight. We're going to see tonight what the Bears are made of.
You gotta end that, and the only way to do it is to beat them, finally.
Do you remember the last win in Green Bay? Because I had to double check.
Yeah, it was 2016.
November 26, 2015.
Oh, I added a year.
Yes.
So it was John Fox's first
John
year.
Fox's
Is that the
first
Jay Cutler Thanksgiving game?
That's correct.
Yeah.
At night.
That was actually one of my favorite games I've covered.
Yeah.
Brett Favre.
Really? Right. Oh, yeah.
It was the Brett Favre retirement ceremony.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers and him didn't really get along, and then they hugged on the field. And
awkward hug.
Yeah, it was. That was like best bros, I guess.
I was doing a whole deep dive on full Chicago at that time. Fred Hoiberg was coaching the Bulls. They were 9-4.
Huh. Okay. There we go.
Come on. So that was on their way to 42-40, and I just memories. And the last time they won at home was 2018, which was Nagy's first year.
Yeah. They won the North.
And they won the North.
Now they're trying to take the North,
Yep.
as they keep telling you. But to do that, you got to win in the division. You got to beat the Packers. Got a lot to talk about. Again, Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Corey Wootton, Greg Braggs Jr. Everybody's here. We're also going to be back post-game as soon as the show is over. Yep. But got a lot of people asking about inactives. Kind of more important for the Packers tonight than the Bears with who is on their injury report. We do have those for you, and we'll give you the Packers first because everyone's wondering about their offensive line. David Bakhtiari, the left tackle, is inactive. He will not play, but Elgton Jenkins is back for the Packers tonight, so he is active. For Jenkins, he's playing his first game back since tearing his ACL on November 21st of last year, so we'll have to see how effective he is in his first game back. Then John Runyon, who went into the concussion protocol last week, one of their guards, he is active as well, but no Bakhtiari as his long road back with multiple knee surgeries has not been going well, and he's still not back tonight.
Man, that's a huge loss for them. And you talk about Robert Quinn. I'm gonna eye that matchup against the left tackle in there because last week Quinn really struggled against Trent Williams, and I said from the beginning of that game he doesn't play good against Trent Williams. He didn't last year, but this matchup I'm looking for Robert Quinn to go big tonight. Pressures, hopefully a few sacks, pushing Rodgers to the other side of the pocket. So let's look at that matchup tonight.
Robert had 3 sacks against the Pack last year, so for whatever that is worth, he's had a little of the green and gold number. Let's go, Robert Quinn. There's a weird, I don't know. We'll get to our picks, I guess, in a little bit. But it just there's a I would say there's a slight drop of optimism out there, like little Bears corners, but I think most everybody else feels like they're going to get smoked tonight, with the exception of that man over there.
Hoge picked them too.
I picked
Come
the
on
Bears.
now.
Let's just do. Let's you give away all our predictions right now.
No. Let's not. No.
We already released them. I mean, come on, they're out there.
I forget about the predictions. I'm just talking about like just walking around the street, like what, like your sense this week, like what you're feeling. Like to me, it's there's like
why not? It's a good spot for the Bears.
Well, yeah, and here's the challenge I had earlier this week that I kind of had to get over. Okay, because my take on the Packers coming in was to look at those heavy analytics that were showing that they actually overachieved last season by about 3 wins. Like that's what, if you believe in those, Pythagorean wins and all that stuff, which I look at to a point, because obviously they're not, real life, but it showed that the Packers actually overachieved last season. And you had to think that there was some, well, even if it's just a win or two, they'd come back to earth just a little bit. Now, that's still an 11-win season. That's still, 10 wins at least.
Right.
And then I thought that the Vikings could challenge them. So with those results last week, it kind of confirmed what I was thinking going into the year. But then again, you always got to be careful because week 1 can be weird, and you never.
Last year, week 1 against the Saints, right? Aaron Rodgers and company looked terrible. He threw 2 picks in that first game, and then threw another 2 the rest of the year. So
crazy.
Next week he bounces back with 4 touchdowns. So sometimes you got to take that with a grain
What's
of salt.
the thing that's always killed the Bears versus the Packers? In my mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but every time we'd get this team on 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 12 to get off the field, Aaron Rodgers always had that Jordy Nelson, that Randall Cobb, that Devontae Adams to throw the back shoulder fade, the 8-yard out route, the slant that we can never stop. Does he have that continuity with any of these wide receivers? I know Allen Lazard is going to play tonight. He's got a tough task with Jalen Johnson on the other side. To me, he does not have that receiver, that go-to emergency route wide receiver to get him out of a jam. And to me, that's a big equalizer for the Chicago Bears tonight. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, no, that's huge. And without Adams there, that's really tough. They had such a great connection. And you look in the Vikings game, on that first drive, the first play, he has that deep ball to Watson. Watson made a great move on Patrick Peterson, wide open for a would-be touchdown, and he dropped it. And that's something that Aaron Rodgers was talking about all preseason, offseason. These guys can't catch the football, and it's frustrating me. So he doesn't really have that security blanket like you talked about. I would say probably the running backs are probably his security blanket out there. So I look for them to go more in routes, but he doesn't have that go-to receiver right now.
The one thing I do worry about, though, specifically with Christian Watson, one of the reasons why I liked him coming out was because if you watched him on film, like most of his catches were downfield, big plays. But then the reason why I got off him a little bit as we got closer to the draft was because of the drops. He had as many drops as he had touchdowns in college. So what that tells me is, you just look at that one play last week. Drops are probably going to continue to frustrate Rodgers, and you have to earn his trust. That being said, he could probably still beat you at any given moment, and that's what I'm worried about tonight.
And you look at Devontae Adams early on in his career, and you probably remember this. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers was vocal about that with Devontae Adams. He said he's a talented guy, but I'm not going to throw him the football because he can't catch it. So it's kind of the same thing with Watson. Watson's got to prove to him that he can catch the ball.
How many years did that take to build that trust?
2-3 years.
Right.
Devontae Adams wasn't a game breaker.
It was year 3 when he finally broke out.
Yeah, and of course they don't have the luxury of waiting 2-3 years for that. He is like, his frustration last week was noticeable. I mean, he's talking to coaches. His frustration's on his face. He's having conversations with receivers. We'd love to see a whole lot more of that tonight. Watson, though, is a talented guy. I like Romeo Doubs, too. I was hoping that he was going to fall. So at some point, the Bears were going to take a spin on him. So there's no Devontae Adams there, but there is, like, I always tend to bet on an elite quarterback to figure it out with whoever is in his receiver room. And you have stripped away the security blanket for Rodgers, so he has to figure it out, right?
You know what the key tonight against stopping Rodgers, and this has been something. When Rod Marinelli was our coach, he had talked about setting that edge, keeping Rodgers in the pocket, right? Because he can throw in the pocket. What he likes to do is get outside the pocket, especially that left defensive end. So when we played back in 2012, we had a really good plan for Rodgers in that first half. Rod Marinelli said, Corey, you're the left end. If you set the edge over here, you don't try to get cute and win your rushes. You get to the top of the rush, you set the edge right there, you will have 2 sacks. In that first half, I had 2 sacks. We kept them contained. We had a good game plan. Second half, I got greedy. I tried to make an inside move. Rodgers hit that corner and completed a bomb to Randall Cobb. I got chewed out so much by Rod Marinelli and company, and that's where he got that momentum. Similar to how Justin Fields had that pass to Pettis where he got the momentum and confidence. That's what Aaron Rodgers. He usually has that one play where he draws you offside, he gets outside the pocket. So I'm really eyeing that left defensive end tonight, keeping him inside that pocket.
Did they bench you after that?
I came out for a couple plays, then I got back in. I had to get some medicine over there, and I was setting the edge from then on.
I'm not saying I would have taken you out, Woot, but that seems like a
I got called a lot of bad names, I'll tell you that.
Shout out to this awesome $34 super chat coming in. Maybe for Walter Payton. I don't know. $34. Go Bears. Awesome to see Corey Wootton. Also appreciate Carm going all out with the jersey. LOL sweetness. I don't. Does that count as all out? $15 at
It's
Kmart
not.
or whatever.
It's not. We got to get him a better one. I mean,
Wait,
good
Carm,
effort.
is that a medium or?
Good, yeah. It's more less about the size. It's more about the brand. You know, he's got to get him a legit one.
This is, first of all, don't get caught up on the dollars. Talk about just the flair that this is giving me tonight. Second of all, let's talk about great Khalil Mack moments going up to Green Bay in his first game, a terrible Bears loss. They blown a 20-point lead, falling to 0-1. Everybody freaked out, or at least the guys that I was doing the show with at the time freaked out that Nagy was blowing games in the playoffs, and he came over here and blew games. So it was just week 1. Yeah. But Mack was huge, and you know, we're Jaquan Brisker right here. Come on, it's all connected.
So who's going to be that Khalil Mack in their first game at Green Bay? Who's gonna have that defensive moment?
Great one.
You said it. That's Brisk, baby.
Yeah.
Jaquan Brisker.
How about a Kyler Gordon pick 6 moment tonight? That would be unbelievable.
How about a Dominique Robinson, right?
He might keep it going.
Last week, we were talking about a banged-up Green Bay Packers front. If he sets that edge over there on the left side, right, he can get a couple sacks, easy peasy, mac and cheesy, baby.
How about the fact there are multiple options for that in our rookie side? That's like the most exciting thing about the Bears right now.
Yes. And there are also a couple rookies inactive tonight as well, which we still need to show you the Bears inactives. That includes Velus Jones Jr., still not back. Interesting how he returned to practice, then he was back out.
Play the long game.
Yeah. Long season, right? You don't want him to get banged up.
But this has been going on like really since basically the second week of training camp, and you start to worry about how big of an issue it's going to be.
Frustrating.
Lamar Jackson, the defensive back, inactive after playing last week. That one caught my eye a little bit. Elijah Hicks, one of the rookies, Jatara Carter, Michael Schofield, and the tight end / fullback, Jake Tonjes as well. There you go. So, like I said off the top, I think the inactives tonight were more significant for Packers, at least who was in, who was out. You would like to get Velus Jones Jr. out there at some point, though, especially in the return game. I think they need that boost, and he showed in the preseason that he can give you that boost.
Velus, get healthy. You were supposed to be a big part of this team. I'm not giving up hope that we won't see him. I don't know about next week. Tailgate, 8 a.m., Houston, Lovey, Texans. Throw that in there, but I don't know. By the Minnesota game, can we get you after the Giants game and have you be 100%? That's
how about that when he's 100%? If he comes in there and takes one to the house, man, that would be huge there. That would be really huge. So the explosion he flashed in the preseason, we just want to see that in the return game and then possibly offensively, right?
Right.
Taking shots, going deep. I mean, he's got the speed. He's got a little bit of everything.
Help get some eyes off of Mooney.
Exactly.
You know, a guy whether or not he's ready to run all the routes. He's got elite speed and separation ability, and that causes a defense to look at him, which will take some eyes off of Darnell Mooney.
That dude's got to show up tonight.
Mooney?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
show up's a little harsh.
I know. I like that. That's where I was going to go with that. Like watching the game back last week, I didn't feel like it was Mooney's fault. Like this is something the Bears are going to have to earn to get him open. You know, those other guys are going to have to show up. They're going to have to scheme him open in other ways. I think what you hope for is I'm sure the Packers spent their entire week trying to fix how they left Justin Jefferson open the entire time. But I also would have some faith that Luke Getsy's looking at that, and he knows the personnel, that he's going to find a way to get Darnell Mooney some plays tonight.
So that brings up an interesting point because, everyone's saying or just pointing out Getsy coming over from Green Bay, and then EQ coming over, and Lucas Patrick coming over, and of course on the other side, Pat O'Donnell. I mean, does any of that matter as far as switching locker rooms and getting information and coaches? Does that? I mean, I think from this side we think that it might have some. Well, now they know stuff, but I don't know if it actually is real.
Yeah, I think he's probably helping the defense for sure with some of the checks, calls, things of that nature, kind of different tendencies and whatnot, but. I mean, this is the same Packers team that we've been playing as of late. They've been running the same plays, same thing. So, yeah, they're looking into that a little bit. But I think the biggest thing this week is we're going to see Getsy as a game plan caller, right? What is he going to do early on? Because you saw in that second half the adjustments when they started getting Justin Fields on the move, right? It opened up everything. His running game, Khalil Herbert, and then it opened up some of that play action, some of the boots, and he made plays out there. So early on, they got to start with him on the move because that's how he got confidence in that second game. It was a monsoon, and sometimes you could take all that with a grain of salt. But how is he going to come out this week to start fast? Because against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, you need a quick start.
That actually does bring up a guy who does need to show up, and maybe it wasn't his fault either. But David Montgomery, let's see you tonight. Let's scheme better for.
See, I'm willing to fight you on that. David Montgomery.
Get him.
I bet you.
Let's have a fight. Let's go.
I bet you in the coach's room when they went through the film, he had at least 6 broken tackles that he forced on not only a couple of those runs, but also like that shovel pass that Fields gave him. He made all the yards after that.
Yeah.
And the unappreciated block on the St. Brown touchdown. He blocks the guy on the edge.
Exactly.
That's also fair.
But they weren't blocking very well in that first. That's where he got most of his carries, and he was getting hit in the backfield. I mean, the 49ers had the Bears O-line number in that first half. So it's tough. It's tough, Carman.
I'm going to allow myself to be shouted down here, but make somebody miss break one of them.
He definitely needs to have a bigger game.
Sure.
With getting yardage, and I think he will. It's not supposed to rain tonight. Thank God. I mean, honestly, it was nice last week. But we'll get a better idea of what this team's all about tonight.
But look at how Fields running the ball softened up that 49ers defensive line in that second half, right? We were able to create the holes. Why? Because they were gassed chasing them. You look at Bosa and company, I mean, they didn't have an answer for that. They're running to the sideline. They're tired. We didn't see that same burst off the ball. So it brings a different element to that defense.
And another thing you saw, which I love to see, just committing to the run. Whether it was working or not in the first half with Montgomery, they ran the ball 37 times. That's how you wear a team down late in the game.
So what did you think about that first play to scrimmage? They run a pass play, right?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I thought it was hilarious because Matt Nagy hated screens, so they tried to run a screen.
It
but it didn't work.
But weren't you thinking, hey, let's run the football right now. Let's set the tone. Let's see the identity of this team. And then they run a pass play. I was like, come on. So,
trying to outguess the other team, and they actually outguessed you, and it almost turned into a pick six.
Gary's in the chat saying, will Carm ever say something positive about the Bears? We need all the positive vibes tonight. Gary, that will be my sole job tonight. By the end of the night, once the Bears win this game, I will have beaten him into submission. Bears Twitter's already got Adam on our side. Now we're working on Carm.
Hey, listen.
One step at a time.
Well, we'll get to our picks here. I've got plenty of positivity coming for you. And
I'd love to see you change your pick between now and
that's possible too. My positivity won't.
You can't backtrack.
No,
you gotta lock in. We're locked in.
That one's not going anywhere. But I've got optimism flowing over here too. There's no negativity here. I just want to. Everybody gets a little too sensitive.
Rocking the Bears jersey. Come on, guys.
Don't get sensitive on David Montgomery. I'm not saying the dude can't play. I'm a Demo fan.
Okay.
Dude,
our people know that will fight for David Montgomery.
Okay. Well, and
Cole Kmet to a point. Which I'm starting to get worried about, but no.
Hey, and Gary, I love you too, buddy. You're my guy.
He wants you to take 3 shots of Malort when the Bears win.
I said always got to be Malort. Like, we need a different expectation.
I'm pretty sure I saw better whiskey in that cabinet.
We got makers back there.
We get
start making some old-fashioned. Also, I'm disappointed I'm the only one sitting up here with a beer right now.
What do you got over there?
We got some Revolution. Sun Crusher.
Long night.
I was crushing the sun this weekend.
All right.
Still feels like summer outside.
They win tonight. We can do shots on the show. We can have.
Carm's getting loose after a Bears win, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we got a lot of great stuff coming up on this pregame show. We will get you our points bets. Prop bets. That's kind of hard to say. That's what I was going for. We all picked a prop bet for you to follow. And then let's see what else we got. Nick coming up from Lambeau Field here soon. Hopefully, if we can find him. Maybe he got lost in the crowd already. I'm not sure. And then we'll give you our predictions, too. Also talk a little bit about what happened around the NFL today.
Wow.
There's something huge that happened that I do think we need to talk about in the context of the Bears quarterback as well. But first, need to tell you that this football season, PointsBet is bringing you a better way to bet live on games, which means before this ad is over, you can place a live same-game parlay, bet on the next drive to be a touchdown, and cash out on your live second half over bet. With PointsBet, you have access to more live football markets than ever before. Build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. Choose the outcome of the next drive and next points with PointsBet's lightning bets. So whether you are on the move or on the couch, do it live on PointsBet. Download the PointsBet app today. Sign up with the code CHGO to get your first 2 bets risk-free up to $2,000. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. Also need to talk about game time a little bit.
Hells yes. I love the Game Time app. I get very excited about the Game Time app. Are you looking at me to talk about it?
Yeah, I am.
You're
the ticket guy. You've been the ticket guy since I've known you.
Well, you have to fill in the details here because I didn't prepare properly for that. But let me tell you something. You should go onto the Game Time app, go through our link here, and you should. First of all, I hope you're up at Lambeau right now watching this show, listening to this show, and you are there to make a move tonight and get in right before game time. Best deals tend to be that way, but that doesn't mean you have to wait. By the way, there's some huge games coming up later in the week with the Chicago White Sox winning today. Everybody buried this team 7,000 times. Oh, check the math. They're still alive.
What did the Guardians do today?
Guardians lost.
Yes.
Lost.
Yes.
And right now the Sox listen, these games are going to matter. And if you go on the Game Time app, you'll be getting in for next to nothing at good old Guaranteed Rate Field later in the week. So, Hoge, fill in the rest of what
if
you
you
need
love
to do.
CHGO, then you'll love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description, which is in the video below, right below the video, I should say. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all your favorite events. Might come in handy next Sunday, too.
Yeah.
We got a little preview of our own tailgate. When I'm showing up out here, we got this awesome patio, across the way from where the naked guy hangs out over there. There's patio furniture out there now, and then Rags is out there with a stove.
I was really hoping the naked guy would come out. I was going to get a interview with him. That's my goal before
could have
the
brought
end of the year.
some food over to him.
Did you bring extra stogies, too? We got that going on?
I did, actually. I didn't know if anybody would want to partake. I know my guy Jared, covers the Cubs here for CHGO. Cubs is aficionado in the cigar life. I'm new to it, but I do have extras if you want one.
Well, I mean, if they win, this pregame show, this
Victory
postgame show is going to
cigars.
get all sorts of stuff going on here. If that's, I don't know if that's legal inside the offices here, but I'm willing to have a lot of fun here if they win this game tonight.
It sounds like it. I'm ready to go. All right. And we should tell you that this tailgate next week, if this little mini tailgate on the patio is any indication, you're going to want to be here. Not here, but down the road, Michigan and Roosevelt for this game next Sunday. Our first official CHGO tailgate for football. Yeah, I didn't know if there's any rules there about me saying the B word, though, during the ad, so that's why I was avoiding the B word. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think your mic was on, so I don't think anybody heard it anyway.
Bottom line,
I'm following rules here, okay? Starts at 8 a.m. Sunday. Hopefully the weather's good. Lovey Smith's in town.
Get to meet Carman.
We want to meet you. We just want to hang out, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. Let's talk some football.
$34, all you can eat and
You're going
drink.
to be positive, right?
Of course,
Positive Carm will be there.
I'm picking the Bears next week. I promise you that. There will be. I might pick the Bears to win 63-0 next week. But that's,
Careful, the Texans might win today. Although I
know.
think the latest update is they might actually be losing. The Broncos may have scored a touchdown.
Last week they looked pretty decent. So
Yeah, that's a tough team.
discipline. They play great defense.
Kind of play like the Bears do.
Exactly. So
we cannot.
No, but for real, come out to the tailgate, a one-stop shop. All you can eat, all you can drink, parking spots, limited availability with the parking, but it's going to be a lot of fun. DJ out there, the whole 9 yards, man. Get out there. Let's have some fun.
And I want to warn you, the awesome sliding video, or T-shirt, I should say, they're running out of our first batch. So it was hot this week, that shirt. We still have some available from the first batch. I'm sure we'll have more down the line, but if you want to get on it now.
I've been sitting by my doorstep all week waiting for it. I was praying for it to come in today.
Next week.
I'm getting like a notification that UPS has been unable to deliver. I don't know if that's coming to me through the UPS situation.
I will go to UPS. Give me the shirt.
I bought it too.
Maybe your UPS guy's a Packer fan.
That's
maybe.
probably.
Did you get him a
Did
you get him a Christmas gift last year?
See, that's like old school. Nobody knows their UPS guy anymore.
What about the mailman or woman? Do you
don't know who that is either.
Okay.
But I guess I don't really need to know. I can put something in the thing. All right, Woot. I'm doing that this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop something in the box.
CHGOlocker.com.
Yes.
For the shirt, and be nice to your delivery guy, and it'll come fast. Apparently, Carm is not. All right, let's get to our prop bets for this game. I'm excited for this.
Me too.
We each picked out our favorite prop bet for this game. Maybe we should start like combining these all together. Like take each one of ours, do the same game parlay on points bet with them.
Yeah,
might be a good strategy. I'll start the over under that I saw for Justin Fields' longest pass of the night is 31.5. So as long as he has one pass over that. And I feel like the Bears, even when things aren't going great, are going to find a way to unlock more passes downfield with this offense, setting it up with play action. You saw that last week. Nothing's happening. All of a sudden, and that was more of a busted play, but that's part of this too. Justin Fields can make you pay with those. He's used to doing it from Ohio State. So even if he doesn't have a big night total, I feel like they'll have at least one big play that goes at least 32 yards.
Green Bay struggling last week against Jefferson. I know Jefferson's one of the best in the league, but they had some issues there containing him. So they're going to take a couple shots, like you said. So I'm looking forward to that.
I didn't get that. He was running free. Same thing today. I haven't watched. I mean, I just following along with the Dolphins. I mean, Tyreek's running free. It's like, how is this possible? But I love that play by you, Hoge. That feels like a very solid bet.
I like that.
Yeah.
What do you got, Carm?
I'm going with the Bears getting that ground game going all over the place, including Justin Fields on the move tonight. Any old way, any old how. 35.5 rushing yards. I like Justin beating that, so I'm taking the over on the ground for the QB. Woot, you're with me.
I love that, Carm.
Thank you.
Justin Fields, one-on-one on the defensive end. He's gone all time. That matchup all day. Good luck trying to catch him. So I like that. I think he's going to go probably around 50.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what you should appreciate about him too when he runs?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Especially if you're an over-under better on his rushing. Every time he goes out of bounds, he sticks the ball out for like an extra yard and a half.
Love it.
That might be the difference tonight, Carm.
That could be the difference, and I hope the difference is not him sliding late. Don't slide late, one.
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
That's a big thing because we need him.
Which we're about to talk about in a second. Woot, why don't you give us yours?
And mine, I think the Bears D are going to have over 2.5 sacks. Look, Bakhtiari's not playing tonight. Yeah. Robert Quinn had a huge game last night. I look for him to go big. Shoot, he might have over 2.5 sacks himself. So, and last week they kind of struggled getting pressure on Trey Lance at times. So I look for them with the front four to get the rush and then dial up some of that blitz trying to confuse Rodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. Dom Rob might get it by himself too, like you said. You never know where it's coming from. Yeah, for me, honestly, I think all four of these are good plays, and I took David Montgomery over 49.5 rushing yards and a touchdown. He's trying to make up for last week's slow performance out the gate. Obviously, a very dynamic running back. Doesn't stop, never stop motor. And, he's going to get those goal line touches. So I think it was set at plus 350 on points bet. So I think that's you're stealing money there at that point. But I like all four of these options. So make sure you go ahead and go into points bet and get on it.
I might like Braggs' pick the most.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that.
I think you're just
trying to get on his good side.
You're just warming up to me because
I gotta butter him up, man.
I am willing to be straight rivals with Braggs for the entirety of this.
I know, we're season. We're fighting in between this friendship we made at the town hall and then this rivalry. I can feel the tension.
I just love how you guys are
it's healthy,
unintentionally, but sort of on purpose, trying to beat each other to the studio
started it.
today.
I love Braggs. I want that on the record. You're a great man, but I'll compete to the end of the. I mean, come on.
So what do you play softball?
No, what do you? No.
I don't know. He's a 12. He's a 12.
Yeah, no. Next year will be my first.
This is.
But I can rake. I can rake.
I mean, I see you as
I
kind
played
of
baseball
Now
growing up.
we're really gonna get into a play here. Like I see you as.
I
Like,
got your back next year for the.
You look like an
softball.
old lineman. Like I'm a straight athlete. I just play
right.
things. I just I mean, we don't need to go down
I'll
that
get in
road.
the weight room. Me and Moriano start working out.
He'll tell you.
Don't
He's
mess
in the
with
gym.
Moriano.
That's probably why he isn't popping up here to talk to us from Lambeau. He's probably in
Getting
the
a
gym.
pump in.
He probably found the
Getting a
Packers
pump in.
weight room
Billy biceps over there.
and he's getting work in. All right, this is a good segue to talk some NFL, what happened around the league today. It's been the day of the comeback.
Yeah.
And we apparently have another one right now because I'm glancing over my shoulder at our monitor, and the Cardinals, despite apparently taking a penalty after scoring and having to back up their 2-point conversion, managed to convert it. And at the end of regulation, the Cardinals have come back to tie the Raiders. That is the third big comeback today.
About time, because Kyler Murray's been playing pretty poorly the first 2 weeks. So it looks like he's finally come to life here in the second half. But you're right, the comebacks. I mean, that Ravens-Dolphins game might have been the game of the year, and it's only week 2.
Devontae didn't do anything last week. He got in the end zone this week.
Yep.
Let's look at the total number of catches here for him. I'm curious on the fly here. But nothing. Devontae Adams, two balls for 12 yards plus the touchdown.
How about the Raiders? They got a chance to go 0-2 to start the season, and everyone was hyping them up as one of the best teams in the league. So it seems like they got a lot of flaws over there, even with all the weapons and guys on their roster.
Yep. Well, so that'll be one we'll continue to keep you updated on. If you're kind of using us as a second screen option right now as the games play out, we appreciate you. We'll keep you updated. But 2 other comebacks today, man, it was fun to be following those at the end of the noon window because all of a sudden the Dolphins came out of nowhere. They were down 35-14 in the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
To the Ravens. They come all the way back to tie. Then Justin Tucker does what Justin Tucker does. He hits a bomb field goal to take the lead, and then the Dolphins just go right back down and they score again. That was a huge win for Mike McDaniel, who's obviously got some good things going there with that offense. And Tua.
Exactly. Look what he's done with Tua.
Yeah.
You know, it shows how important a coach is, right? The script for success for you. Everyone was saying Tua can't do it. I don't even think Ross, the owner, believed in Tua.
Tua sucked last year. It was painful to watch. Like, he did not look like an NFL quarterback at all. He threw for 469 yards and 6 touchdowns today. That is straight
The
wild.
Mike McDaniel
Well,
effect,
it's not just the
right?
coach, but the Tyreek Hill edition doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
he had
huge,
2
yeah.
touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and Jalen Waddle seems like a budding superstar.
Is that the best wide receiver tandem in the league right now, you think?
You know, at least for
you
through,
can make an
through,
argument
through
for it.
2 weeks,
That's
right?
Talent-wise?
That's a real interesting call right there. I mean, and the touchdown that ultimately won it. That, I mean, he's moving around. He's scrambling for his life, and he's throwing. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
People sleep on coaching. Like, you look at Alex Smith, right? When he came from San Francisco to the Chiefs, right? They threw him to the side. He can't play this, that, and the other. Andy Reid, right? Makes him a 3-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro, leading in yards, completion percentage. So a good head coach will do wonders for you, or a play caller. Yeah.
I mean, look what's going on in Jacksonville.
Yep.
I mean, Urban's gone, and now Trevor's looking like amazing, which I don't think.
Well, he had a good day. And he's also the #1 overall pick. So, I mean, it's about time.
You know, T. Kane says in the chat, Lions look good or Washington is just trash. And I think that's a really good point to talk about here because the Lions here, these first 2 weeks, have put up some major points.
Yeah.
I'm
on Ross St. Brown.
Impressive game today.
I'm on Ross St. Brown. He looks like he is.
It's good.
Monster.
Definitely legit and is somebody that's going to cause problems in this NFC North for a while. And of course, that's Equinemius St. Brown's brother.
I was going to say, can we trade brother for brother there? That'd be
St. Brown ended up with
North brother tandem.
I'm on Ross, I think, at 2 touchdowns today, so EQ's got his work cut out for him tonight if he's going to keep up with that.
and Hutchinson got his first sack.
I think he had 3 today.
He had 3.
Yeah, he had a monster game.
Good for him, man.
I mean, and he fell to them at 2, although
Thanks a lot, Jaguars.
Yeah, but Tavon Walker's his name, right?
Yeah.
He looks pretty good.
He does.
He's actually off to a good start. So
Still not happy with that.
a lot of talented.
Yeah.
No, just the fact that Aiden fell.
I don't
into
want
the-
Aiden Hutchinson in our division.
I don't want to say I fell in love with Aiden on Hard Knocks, but I kind of fell in love with Aiden on Hard Knocks. He was fun.
The Billie Jean.
It's just overall attitude. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just so positive.
Seems
So-
like a good dude. Hard worker.
loves the game.
The other big comeback, by the way, the Lions almost let Washington back in that game.
Yep.
The other big comeback, though, the Jets came out of nowhere to come back on the Browns.
Joe
today.
Flacco.
And with Flacco at quarterback,
Garrett Wilson,
that was just wild.
right?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. But the big news,
Thank God we don't have Joe Flacco as our quarterback. Go ahead.
10 minutes into the 49ers game,
Wow.
Trey Lance goes down with a massive injury, it looks like. Adam Schefter already reporting that it is going to wipe out his season, require season-ending surgery.
That's terrible.
Looked like his ankle got rolled up on as he's trying to run with the football, which I think is everyone's concern with these running quarterbacks. And so
Justin even said it.
He
He,
said-
was like, I'm going to try to help up my guy
Yeah.
Trey and tell him to
tell him to
quit
stop
it.
taking hits, which, I think Justin, too, could listen to some of his own advice
I know.
with some of these slides. Try to get flatter, try to get
Yeah.
not hit because you're still taking hits.
Look what happened to RG3, right?
Yeah.
The great rookie season he had and was never the same after that, taking those hits on the sideline, tearing his ACL.
That was
so
the
you got to
worst.
be smart with this, right? You got to know when to get down. That's the biggest thing with Justin Fields. Make sure you slide, make sure you get out of bounds, don't take these hits because they add up. Cam Newton was notorious for doing that. Like, I'm big, I'm this, I can take these hits, and all of a sudden after he started getting popped a few times, he seemed like a different player in there. So, hey, live to play another down.
And I think as it pertains, so there's obviously a difference between scrambling in that situation. Like, it's good to have a scrambling quarterback, and you're going to take a hit here and there, but it's better to have that than not have that. I think where I'm coming from is, I felt like already last week the 49ers were more willing to do design runs with Trey Lance.
Yep.
And if I saw that right today, and I only saw the end of the play, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that was a design run that he got hurt on today.
Yeah, it was a power run. That's what they were doing last week.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
power stuff.
And
I don't want to see that with Fields. I'm sorry.
No, like, I don't
It's
think
not
any
worth it.
quarterback, no matter how big Trey Lance is or any quarterback out there, you cannot do that with your number one quarterback. He's going to get hurt sooner or later. Guys are too big and too strong in this league. You cannot take that pounding.
I honestly appreciate your intelligence around this because I there's part of me that wants the Bears offense to get jump started, and Fields being on the move in my mind would do that, at least help doing that. But the overall long-term patience, we're in, let's be honest, a rebuilding year. We'll take if it turns into something more, that would be sweet. But design runs for Justin Fields right now makes little to no sense, to your point. It really doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between purposely booting him or getting him out
Give him the
wide
option, yeah.
so he has the option to throw the ball or take what's being given to him. There's a big difference between that and all of a sudden trying to turn him into like an option quarterback or what 49ers have been doing with this power stuff, which I thought was just going to be a one-off here and there to keep teams on their toes, and then they just keep doing it, and now he's out for the season. That can't happen.
Somebody put that in the comments. They said, Wootton, tell them about Shanahan, right? And Shanahan, I just didn't understand why he would do that with a guy you're trying to get confidence. I understand you want to get him on the move, but it's your number one quarterback, like, right? You're taking a risk out there. He would not do that with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? So why do that with Trey Lance?
Almost feels like he wants to be playing Jimmy all along.
That's the whole point that I was getting at, and he thought I was crazy when I went on that radio show.
Yeah.
Mark, you know about that.
I do, and that was go back into in clip time and see Corey crush at Shannon. It was amazing, but that there's a different when you trade up like the Niners did to draft a guy out of North Dakota State who didn't play because of COVID in his senior year that we were talking about earlier before the show. There is a certain level of pressure to make sure that guy is successful, whereas the Bears and Fields have that, but it's different. They didn't draft him. They're not trying to win a Super Bowl this year. They're trying to build this thing into Floosville.
Yeah.
So.
Jimmy
Garoppolo led them to a Super Bowl and the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
And you look at last year, right? When they played the Bears, right? The Bears and them, I think, had the same record, right? They were at the same point in the year. We could either win and make a push for the playoffs or not. And they consistently stacked wins after the Bears game right there, and Jimmy Garoppolo led them there. So they have a great defense, right? But they have a limited window with that defense to win a championship, and I think Jimmy Garoppolo gives them the best chance. It may not be pretty, it may not be cute, but the thing is he doesn't turn the ball over, and he's a great leader out there.
Yeah. I mean, you just feel gutted, though, for Trey Lance. I mean, now he'll be entering his third year with really no it moments. And I talk about that.
And he
with
hasn't
Justin.
played in 3 years, basically.
Right. It'll be his third year. And then what do you do with him depending on, the Jimmy situation? It's like I just wish that upon no man or team because, looking at what the Bears are doing with Justin Fields, I want a lot of it moments this year so we know what we have going into next year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking that far ahead. I want to see what they have this year in competitiveness. But at the same time, I need those it moments. And Trey Lance now doesn't get any more for the rest of the year. The only game he plays is in a monsoon. So, I certainly feel bad for him in a big way. But Niners did right by having that insurance card with Jimmy and keeping him. A lot of people were questioning that move, and now it's already paying off. Maybe a little too early for the 49ers days.
Look at Aaron Rodgers, though. He sat for a couple years, right?
Sure.
Arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever play the game. So sometimes people feel like they got to play him. I feel like it was from up top saying, you got to play Trey Lance. Yeah. But I think Kyle Shanahan knows that Jimmy Garoppolo gives them the best chance.
Yeah, you just took me into a whole different headspace with going back in time to Rodgers sitting and then Favre being there. And then, by the way, the news on Brett Favre this week, everything that's coming his way is deserved. Yep.
I couldn't believe I heard an ad driving down with his voice on it. Like, how do you not pull those this week?
Yeah. Pull those, period. Listen, I've interviewed Brett. I've enjoyed talking to Brett. He's fun to talk to, an incredible career, phenomenal player, all of it. However, you add up all his off-field stuff at this point. It is beyond ugly, really.
Exactly.
I mean,
Jeff Pearlman, who wrote the book on it, telling people to not read the book.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's.
It's a huge indictment, and the text messages that came out saying where you could tell he knew what he was doing. It's not like he was oblivious to this.
Will the media find out about this?
Yeah,
I mean, where that is some level of moral.
That's
and plus he didn't think anybody was going to find the text messages sooner or later with this technology nowadays. Like,
didn't he already have problems with that once?
Yeah. Well, then Jen's dunking on him, and she should.
He should be.
Now you guys are offended?
Yeah.
He should be locked up, and then once a month, Corey should have to sack him.
I like that.
Let's go back to Minnesota.
Just a suggestion.
Once a month, bring Corey and just sack him. I love it. Hey, Pins and Aces is the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. We love our Pins and Aces gear and get tons of compliments on and off the course. They're a family-owned golf and apparel business. They make great polos, hats, golf bags. And my favorite Pins and Aces thing is their beer sleeve. It's an innovative product. Allows you to put 7 beers right inside your golf bag in this sleeve. You just zip it up. You pop it right in.
That's money.
You just pull it up, unzip, pull one out. It's great. I'm telling you.
The smile on the face over here is real.
I know what time it is. Us golfers. Carm's like a fair weather golfer, like a once-a-year scramble type thing.
Not even.
Me and Hoge know what time it is.
Yeah.
I was in here breaking down my driver, and they're like, what is that? I don't understand. I have the Bryson DeChambeau set up. I told them about that. I got the Trono TX. Tipped, 75 gram. Carmen said, wait, what? We drop bombs, Carmen. That's what we do.
It's got a good
Bryson DeChambeau set up. That ball's flying.
I mean,
345 at the last scramble, man.
Ooh!
I've hit 403 at a scramble with downwind. It's helping me a little bit, but I can drop bombs out there.
You take that win.
Yeah.
Hey, check out pinsandaces.com. Use code CHGO to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com.
400 yards this dude's talking out of nowhere on a downwind.
Yeah. 403. Don't cheat him. Don't cheat him.
Correct.
Come on.
The guys I play with, they're getting a shirt made for me, Mr. 403.
I
didn't hit a cart pad, didn't anything.
I mean,
great carry, baby.
I mean, I knew that I was sitting next to a former D lineman. I knew I was sitting next to a former Wildcat, but I didn't know I was sitting next to a current 403.
Yeah, about 135 club head speed. You know what I mean?
135 club head.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go.
I love it. I love it.
May I ask Corey a question? I'm sorry, unless you have more.
I do have one more. Then you can ask.
Then
one
I'll
question.
shut up.
Yeah. Hey, Chicago, you already got the best coverage for your favorite teams. So get fitted out in the best sports gear around. better than what this guy is getting here for $15. FOCO has you covered from Soldier Field to the front room.
FOCO!
North or south side with hoodies, slippers, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. Get decked out like DeMar with apparel from the leader in sports merch and collectibles. FOCO, looking for the perfect gift for the football fan in your life? FOCO's got you covered with hoodies to fight that Lake Michigan breeze. Check out FOCO.com. Click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code, you know what it is, CHGO for 10% off. Go ahead, Braggs.
All right, now that I'm cutting in line. But no, last week I thought one of the bigger revelations were some of the tells that they found in the film review going into the week. Rob was saying Robert Quinn and him were talking about some tells, by the offensive line, and that's how he was able to get good jumps. And then also Eddie Jackson was saying, on, option routes and knowing what to look for, and that's kind of how he was able to jump the interception. So I was wondering, going into this week, is there anything that the Bears could find on tape of tendencies that Aaron Rodgers likes to do? One that I'm specifically curious about is there any tells in the screen game? Because I feel like that's something they're going to try to attack with the running backs. Yeah. But just in general, are there any kind of tells that this team can have going into this week for Aaron Rodgers?
I feel like Rodgers is one of the harder guys to defend against, right? Because he changes up so much, and they do it by a weekly basis, right? Some of their checks and reads. Because usually throughout the league, whatever a team does, their checks, they keep that the same. But he's constantly changing them a lot of times. And the biggest thing this week what the Bears have to worry about is the hard count, right? Especially a young guy like Dominic Robinson, right? Aaron Rodgers and Hoge, you know this, man. He's one of the best when it comes to the hard counts, right? This week he'll go on 5, he'll go on 6. Just as a defensive lineman, you want to try to get that jump, but Aaron Rodgers is not the guy to try to get a jump on it because once he gets you off then the rest of the time he'll get you off a couple other times, he'll get you thinking. But he's one of those guys that's tough to get tendencies because they change so much on a week-to-week basis because they don't want anyone to pick up what they're doing.
Yeah, I heard Rob talking with Tom Thayer and Jeff Joniak during the week, and he said that they've been taught by their defensive coordinator that to watch the movement of the hand and not the ball first because a lot of the times the player is moving before the ball's moving. Even though that's illegal, they're not calling it. Exactly. So that's kind of what they're
looking at.
They
do that all the time. And I know the guys on the sideline, especially our D-line coaches, are telling that official, hey, he's moving beforehand, but they don't call that a lot of times. So this week, you really have to be careful.
Watch the body,
you have
the ball.
you have to watch the body a lot of times. And when it comes down to football, a lot of it's keys. And you look at last week, how some of these young guys really struggled, Brisker and Gordon, is they had their eyes in the backfield, especially on some of those play-action looks. You have to keep your eye. You got to keep discipline on your keys, and that's the key. Any young guy out there, I know that was their first go out there, and they're probably a little nervous. Everything was moving faster than probably the preseason. So this week, really need to eye your keys, especially when it comes to Green Bay and company because they try to trick you a lot of times.
Totally.
All right, we have our guy at Lambeau Field. Nicholas Moriano's been wandering around Green Bay, which means he's been wandering around Lambeau Field because that's all that's in Green Bay. But it is a cool place, one of my favorite places to go to. Nick, how's it going up there at Lambeau?
What's going on, you guys? As you know, it's a good time over here. I was walking to the field, and I saw some ping pong tables, and I immediately thought of Mark asking that he wanted to play. And, I would have taken you right there, Mark. But I saw him. I immediately thought of you. We'll have to get back in the studio and play.
Well, when you couldn't speak this week, you missed a show. Yeah. It was me and Nick, and we were gonna play, and then the dude just darted out of here.
Oh,
just
you saying he's scared?
Just straight
up.
Now
he's talking smack from 3 hours north.
And then I had to play Lawrence, and I lost, which was demoralizing. But that doesn't mean that next we got a date, Nick. We do. There's no doubt. I can't wait.
Nick, what are your takeaways from what you've been able to see so far from the press box?
Yeah, so far just kind of seeing little bits and pieces. Lucas Patrick kind of go out on the field, still wrapped up in that cast, same one that he's had for the practices and the game, so he's still there. Tevin Jenkins was taking the reps at right guard initially. Expect that rotation to still happen there, but same old, and I think, that's not to no surprise, right, with seeing Lucas Patrick still in the cast. But first players that I saw on the field were Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon. They were kind of just shadowing each other, doing some routes, working on their coverage and certain releases. But yeah, just seeing some of the guys come out, and it looks like more of them are on the field right now.
Nick, are you anticipating the Bears will do the same thing, splitting time with Lucas and Tevin?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the idea for now. Again, until Lucas can actually snap, that rotation at right guard seems to be the best way for him to get playing time. Also for Tevin Jenkins to kind of get in there. I know they talked, highly of it, being that it was a positive for both guys to kind of get those reps in there. But until he's not in that cast, I think the rotation at right guard is going to be a thing, you guys.
So, Nick, what's the atmosphere like there? What are the fans looking like? I always said when we play Green Bay, man, they have some of the nicest fans. They'll never call you any bad name in the book. What's the atmosphere like there?
No, it's electric for sure. Just kind of walking through everything that they got here. As you guys all know, Lambeau Field. There's a bunch of good food, a bunch of drinking going on. It's good vibes,
there, man.
It's good vibes though. It's good vibes. A lot of people, looking forward to this game, and obviously being in prime time. Had a couple of people come up to me like, "Hey, what's going on, Nick?" I'm like, "What's going on?" So people are excited, and obviously the Bears are 1-0, the Packers are 0-1, and this is a big matchup for the Bears. So you can definitely feel the excitement here at Lambeau Field.
All right, Nick, we're about to do our predictions here. Why don't you give us yours and what you think is going to happen tonight?
Yeah, so as you guys know, we all gave our predictions earlier in the week, but I had the Bears 23-20. I think it's about when you play the Packers, and I just think, they got them at the right time. There's a lot of things they have to clean up, and it's not to say that the Packers can't go out and do that this game, a get-right game. Maybe they're looking at it against the Bears, but have it 23-20 Bears.
Let's go.
There it is.
Okay, I like that.
It's the optimism that you bring to the table every day, no matter what's going on. That's why they love you, Nick. That's why I love you. How's that? Forget about they.
Nick.
Me and you, buddy.
Appreciate you, man. We'll check in post-game, okay? With all the locker room happenings, and we'll see if we're talking about a Bears win. We'll see if you're right.
Sounds good. See you guys.
All right, there he is, Nicholas Moriano. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Nicholas Moriano for all those in-game updates from Lambeau Field. You know what? That's an interesting question as we get, kind of in our prediction segment now. I actually think this is the wrong time to play the Packers because they just lost the game. They don't lose. And I heard some stat, I don't have it off the top of my head right now, but they're outscoring opponents after a loss by like 14 points or something.
Yeah, it's a bad time.
When they lose,
that's with Devontae Adams or Jordy Nelson.
That's
or Randall
fair.
Cobb.
I'm just saying that's been the thing that I've been fighting all week. Which
I'm gonna fight you if you change your prediction.
I've been in the same predicament. I like a part of me wants to.
Yeah.
But I just can't yet.
Well, you say it's the wrong time. I get it. They lost, so they want to make up for it. They want revenge for last week's loss. But if they had won 48-0 against the Vikings last week, would we be feeling confident heading into this game?
No, and that's a fair point too.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. I'll give my prediction here.
Do it.
Are those all pertaining to your prediction?
No, but I just was going to read. I had a lot of time in here today.
You also changed notepad.
He definitely got a D
I went with the
blue.
He definitely got a D in penmanship.
Yeah.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. But go ahead first. I'll give you all my stuff.
I'm not changing mine. I'm rolling with what I've been saying. I have the Bears winning. Big picture. I think the Bears are going to be scrappy, feisty, whatever you want to call it. I think they're going to continue to be disciplined. I don't think everything is going to go their way tonight, but I do feel like they are able to outfight the Packers, who I do think have flaws. I actually agree with you, Braggs, that this is not the same team, the same Packers team that can come back and all of a sudden just put up 45, the next game after a loss. Doesn't mean they still can't win, but I'm going to stick with my guns.
Let's go.
Don't feel great about it, admittedly, but Bears 20, Packers 17.
Let's go, Ho.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go, Ho.
I appreciate it. It's painful, honestly, to see my gray hair and me picking the Packers over the Bears, but I had to have some pick integrity here. I think the Bears hang in there. Green Bay scores late, and they win it by 9 with the Bears still covering. Listen, Green Bay's won 13 in a row at home. They've won 12 straight at night. The Bears haven't won up there since 2015. I think the Bears take a step tonight. I think they creep closer. I think they gain some confidence. But I am picking the Pack to win.
Man, I'm on the same page as you. I got the Pack winning 24-21. I think it'll be a tight game. But at home, Aaron Rodgers plays well. You look at last year, the first game of the season, he played awful against the Saints, had 2 picks. He bounced back, had 4 touchdowns. He looked really well out there. I know he doesn't have the same weapons, Devontae Adams and company, but I feel like when it comes to the Bears, he takes this personally. And I look for him to find a way to get it done, especially with the talented running backs over there. You look at in the game last week, if he completes that ball to Watson, we could be talking about a completely different game. So, yeah, I got them winning 24-21.
You disappoint me greatly, Corey.
Sorry, guys.
Last week, you were right on the money with this prediction. So, I'm not going to come at you too hard because you can kick my ass. But Carman, I will go after all day, every day.
There you go.
Good strategy.
No, 24-17 Bears. This is a good spot to play the Packers. As I mentioned, they do not have that, wide receiver that Aaron Rodgers can go to on a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. That's always just like that knife to the back where you feel like we're about to get off the field. Then you add the fact that they have offensive linemen out. That's going to affect their pass rush protection. That's going to affect their run game, which right now is their bread and butter with Aaron Jones and Dillon back there. So you add all that together, a hungry defense that's buying into this hits philosophy, running after the football. Jaquan Brisker is an absolute monster of the midway. I'm taking the Bears 24-17, and I've never been more confident about it in my life.
Bears.
Okay.
Never been more confident in his life.
The Packers have beat me down, but for whatever reason, this feels exactly like the 49ers game. I didn't know it was going to be a monsoon when we made the picks. Felt like there would be rain if you looked at the forecast, but I just picked it, rain or no rain, and I feel the exact same way. If you just do the math of all the different variables, to me it adds up to a Bears upset. I mean, I understand it will be an upset. I mean, it's not going to be no cakewalk at Lambeau, but I believe it. I'm not just
the spread's
blowing
up to 10.5,
smoke
so it's
for the
definitely
fans.
an
I'm not
upset.
just gassing up the chat. I can give you guys gas if you want, but I truly believe it.
Yeah, I feel like this is the best I felt about the Bears going into a Packers game against Aaron Rodgers, just because of the lack of weapons. They don't have the playmakers there. You talked about it, Bakhtiari being out. But it just seems like every time Aaron Rodgers, and especially with our inexperienced secondary, right? Last week we showed some flaws there. That's what worries me, especially when it comes to scramble drill. If we can't contain Rodgers, receivers going deep, I kind of worry about how these young guys are going to
still have my concerns about Kendall Vildor being out there too.
I'm worried about that side, but I got to see the Bears offense actually hum. Like that would give me some confidence. I get it that conditions were not ideal last week, but listen, we need Mooney going. We need Komet going. We got to see the offense, which maybe, hey, glass half full. Luke Getsy holding something back a little bit before to bust against his old team that he's just super jacked up for.
Is Getsy, absolutely.
What did Mooney say about him? He said we got probably 2 years for him because he's a genius. Yeah. Before somebody else poaches him possibly as a head coach.
Win tonight, it might only be 1.
Right?
They don't have Nathaniel Hackett.
I was going to say the Broncos might want to hire him Monday.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Broncos did come back and win, by the way.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But
there's a lot of pieces to that offensive puzzle for them. There's enough math for me to buy in.
Okay,
so let's do it.
All right. We got a couple super chats we got to knock out before we get out of here. Let's start with Tony. He says, what young position group needs to have a better game, the DBs or the O-line? I'm sorry. In a game against Aaron Rodgers, I'm going DBs.
That is an impossible question to answer because we don't want to get Justin Fields killed either.
I'm going to say DBs, right? You can find ways to scheme to help an offensive lineman. It's very hard sometimes to scheme to stop Aaron Rodgers, especially with the defensive backs, right?
He's going to find the one-on-one matchup. Yeah. He's going to read your coverage. He's going to –
Yeah, so I would say the defensive backs. We need our best performance, no eyes in the backfield, no MAs, none of that this week.
And Lucas Patrick is your starting center this week? Am I putting you on the spot here?
Tonight?
Right.
No, I think he's still
over on the
still
guard.
clubbed up.
Mustafer's still center?
Guard. Yeah, it's Mustafer.
Do that guard rotation.
Yeah. Enrique with the $2 super chat. Does Cole Kmet score today? PointsBet has it at plus 425. I don't hate that. It's good value for a guy who's got to find the end zone sooner than later.
100%.
Enrique, I like what you're doing. You'll feel good if you throw $10 on that and it comes through. Or unless you're.
Ooh, how's that for some optimism?
Yeah, I like that prediction. If they can get the run game going early on, I say Cole Kmet definitely gets a touchdown, right? Because the run sets up that play action, especially in the red zone. We talked about him coming and being a red zone threat, and I think that's where he comes in.
And that's my biggest key for Justin Fields tonight is take what the defense is giving you. You know, Cole Kmet was open a few times in the flat, and he's looking downfield for the bigger play. Just take what the defense gives you. If Cole Kmet's open, feed him.
Love it. My fantasy team loves it even more if it happens. that 0 last
then
week
they need it.
wasn't
Your
nice.
fantasy team needs it.
And listen ahead of content, Kevin. Hit us up after the game. We'll be here.
Oh, yeah. As soon as the game's over, we're here to break it down for you. We'll go as long as we need to get you all the coverage. We'll have Nick out there at Lambeau Field as well. Will DeWitt will chime in as well with his thoughts on the game. We got the full crew, full house tonight, going all out for this big Bears-Packers game. Can't wait to get going and watch it.
Hit the like button.
Yes. Hit that like button. Check us out, allchgo.com for all the content. Again, that tailgate, buy your tickets now. Go get it. It's going to be a lot of fun, convenient. We're going to be out there before the game next Sunday. $34, all you can eat and drink. That's the best tailgate deal I think you can probably find. And also check out the shirts, chgolocker.com. Those I want to call like the slip and slide shirts. That's what I want to call
Slip and slide, yep.
$34, all you can eat and drink before the Bear game. Giving it away. Let's go.
And the blow-up Staley will be there. I don't know if he's on
Why is
set.
he offset? Why
He's not. He's behind.
Because Mark probably wanted George's jersey to show.
I am. No disrespect to MJ. He's the GOAT.
I do like MJ sitting there. I had nothing to do with that, but I enjoy him there.
All right.
What's up, Joey?
Oh, yeah, Joey's jumping in here. Who's scoring the first touchdown? Hit the like button. Damn it.
David Montgomery. I already told you. Plus 350 on the points bet.
Is that
Over
anytime
50?
or first TD?
No, anytime touchdown, but he's going to get it on
Okay.
the first scoring touchdown of the game. David Montgomery.
Ooh, I like that.
And he'll already have passed 50 yards by then.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
there we go.
This guy
First
Bears.
drive.
It's like-
There's the gas. There's the gas.
All gas, no brakes, man.
All right, we're out of here. Enjoy the game, everyone, and then make sure you are right back here with us on the CHGO YouTube channel. And, of course, you can always listen to these as a podcast as well. Follow along throughout the game. Make sure you're following all of us on Twitter, at CHGO_Bears as well. We'll talk to you after the game. Enjoy it.